the movie where millennials kind of won. And it is not in a bad way at all. This is just one of those movies where we knew the millennials and would just be so happy to go to the theaters to see another one of these, especially when you have the return of some of the legends involved at play. And Scary Movie 6, which is literally, I think it's just a scary movie, honestly, is in theaters and it overperformed, and we had a good time seeing this movie. So 26 years, after like the original changed the game, Scary Movie 6, it brought the franchise back to the roots. Like the Wayans family came back, Cindy and Brenda came back. Uh, damn, it just did like it was like a sequel, kind of like a commentary on modern horror, like legacy sequels, and even the franchises. So, like it kind of made fun of everything going on right now, and it was kind of interesting because as a scary movie, it it did stuff, but I don't remember the first few being quite as charged as this one was. But I didn't realize that they were going for what they were going for. Now that doesn't make it any less bad or any less good. Like there's scary movies. Nobody goes to see a scary movie to see Citizen Kane, right? And this movie really like it targeted like the modern horror trends, some slasher revivals, some elevated horror. Like like the first two films, it was really just a vehicle to deliver rapid fire jokes, gags, celebrity cameos, and things like that. The outrageous sequences in this one were just I felt like I was watching a 2000s movie. Like it was just so well done. But again, it is really like the Wayans brothers coming back, the personality that we were missing from the scary movie movies after the second one. It just it was kind of like interesting because the movies were missing something without them, and now that they're back in this one, it kind of felt like it was back, and them coming back kind of gave this movie like its own identity some kind of way. Like it just works, and yeah, I don't want to see another scary movie without them now. Like as much as I love three, I really love three. That's actually my favorite one, but I just think that if this does get a sequel, which I don't think it needs one, I don't think it needs one. I do think that it did set up pretty much what they said would happen is Scary Movie 6 did well in theaters, White Chicks 2 would come. So I guess that might be what ends up happening is we might get a White Chick sequel, even though it's like 20 years too late. But what am I gonna say? But even though the critics have like been very divided on this movie, and audiences we appear to be like, nah, this shit was funny, bro. We don't care. And let's be honest, nostalgia is a thing. Millennials finally have nostalgia for stuff, and it feels good. And like it's like Anna Faris coming back, Regina Hall, the Wayans, it just they're all together again. It was like a nice reunion when they're all in the same room together. It's like look at all four of them just back together. Um, it is extremely ridiculous, like the sophisticated satire, and it isn't really trying that. It really aimed for just outrageous, no filter, no holds barred, we don't care comedy the original movies had that made them so popular. And pretty much what they were saying was, we're not going to get we want people to try to cancel us because cancel culture has ruined comedy, and that was Marlon Wayne's whole goal. So they were just rapid firing stuff left and right in that joint. And I was like, even the acting felt like the older ones, which is good. But I would say the biggest surprise in this film is that it ends the way I thought it would. Like the way that they just like go about making fun of sequels and things like that. And the Wayans brothers basically saying, we're taking the franchise back over. We don't care who tries to stop us. And people just get it was such a good way to end the movie. So I'm thinking like maybe Scary Movie 7 will just have the four of them running the whole thing and they can do whatever they want. And that seemed to be the message. And honestly, I'm with it. I loved the joke. Like my favorite was the Sinners skits, the Sinners calls, the Sinner jokes. Those were the best part of the movie. They nailed the Sinners stuff, A plus plus on the Sinner stuff. The Meg scene was literally just that, and it was fine. I will say the first like 15 to 20 minutes, I was really not laughing as much. But by the middle section of the movie, when like the center scene first happens and stuff like that, that's when it got real funny, real fast, actually. Um, there was a Terrifier. There was so many different things. I mean, the opening scene is just Tiana Taylor being Tiana Taylor. And I did love the fourth wall breaking in that scene. But other than that, it was fine. Like I said, not my favorite scary movie, but definitely like better than the last three, which is four or five, or better than the last two. Because I have a soft spot for four, but one, two, and three, especially three, are just some of my favorites. But it overperformed. Like it was really not supposed to open the way it did. They were saying like it was going to open like 30 million, and it opened to 55 million here, but 105 million overseas, and it is the biggest opening for the franchise with a $30 million budget. So it exceeded the expectations and became one of the biggest success stories of the summer so far. Just because it's a small budget film. It was a movie that wasn't supposed to perform well, and they lied to y'all because this joint popped off crazy. That's what I'm saying. Stop letting people tell y'all that a movie's not going to open well because you don't know what could happen. We've had a lot of overperformers this year, like a good amount. Anyway, in fact, I would say Scary Movie 6 is probably the funniest movie to come out so far this year. Yeah, I could say that. But again, Scary Movie 6, it wasn't like trying to reinvent the wheel, wasn't trying to reinvent comedy, or anything like that. It was just reminding us why we love the Wayans brothers and how the franchise came to be such a big deal in the first place. Let's just go from there. Not every joke lands. The energy, the nostalgia, and willingness to just be completely ridiculous as much as they want in a very comedic, entertaining way, it was just nice to see. It was just so nice to see. Like I'm not asking for like a Dumb and Dumber 3 because I hated the second one or anything, or like they have to keep doing movies like this. But it was just nice to see the Wayans brothers back in theaters and it being a big deal because I love the Wayans brothers, especially Marlon. Marlon's been my favorite Wayans brother since I was a kid. I I love Damon as well. Would have loved to have seen him be in it or at least Keenan, but those two didn't seem to be involved. Little side note: I know Scary Movie 6 ended up happening because the Wayans' father asked Marlon to do another movie with his brothers. Do one more movie with your brothers for me, and that's why Scary Movie 6 came along. So it's actually kind of sweet that this was like the Wayans brothers returned to theater together, but it was also more sentimental because their father passed away, I think, not that long ago, and that's why this came around. So that made me happy. It really did, and I'm happy that the box office and the audience agrees with me because it did such a good job performing. And Scary Movie 6 could be one of the biggest comedies of the year. I'm really looking out on the invite. I really am excited for that. I think that could do really well if people are interested in that kind of thing. That kind of movie is right up my alley. So I'm going to be seeing that opening night, probably. I'm excited for that, shiznit. So, with all that being said, Scary Movie 6 is a success in my book. And I would definitely say you guys should see it if you like the kind of comedy. If you don't, I get it. It's not for everybody. My mom did not even finish Naked Gun. She said I watched the first 10 minutes and cut it off. So, but I loved it. So, go from there. And with all that being said, stop letting people tell you anything about things that they don't even know about and go experience it for yourself and also wait to see the numbers themselves because the numbers speak louder than the lies. So, with that being said, I'm going to sign off. That's all I got for this video. Like, comment, subscribe for more, and I'll see y'all on the next one.